Let's go to the Mail now, Nick.
Yeah, so the Mail have got children put at risk by gender ideology in schools. And we talked about this a lot. People like Miriam Cates have done good work trying to expose this. People didn't realise how bad it's got in schools. So child welfare is in danger from gender identity theory. It says teenagers are letting people change their names or uniforms without parents or professionals being alerted. It's this strange thing. Don't tell your parents. This weird thing that's developed in schools. This comes from the Policy Exchange think tank. So hopefully people are finally waking up to the problem of sex education in schools, gender ideology in schools, and so on.
And also things like single-sex toilets that have basically been proven to not work. Certainly in an environment like school, you got a girl, I believe some boy just kicked the door in and she got a big gash on her head. You've also got there's a lot of talk of boys sort of putting camera phones up. It's just, you don't want to, there's the whole point that you have the boys and the girls' toilets.
Right, and the same reason you have boys and girls schools, and maybe girls shouldn't go to school.
Okay, you took it to that next level.
Is that what you're saying?
No, that is not what I'm saying. That's very much what you just said.
No, but that's where this leads to. When you separate, eventually one of them goes up.
So you think, throw it all out with the bathwater.
That's the ultimate gender.
I am saying there are people out there that are listening to this and saying, it's a slippery slope to
switching
women,
off, yes.
To taking women...
to Iran, basically.
Yeah. And yes, it is.
No one's saying that. There's not anyone say that.
Why don't we just deal with the single-sex toilets in the schools first, and we'll deal with all that other stuff later, Lewis. Lewis, you have kids, but I think they kind of escaped this. They're a bit older now.
They were taken away.
They're in their 20s. I don't let them into girls' bathrooms.
Okay, that's the thing. Yeah, I mean...
Or is that me that doesn't go into girls'
It's interesting how this started very much as a seemingly somewhat fringe topic online, and now you have the front page... Children put at risk by gender ideology in schools. The fact is that people now know what gender ideology is, what it means. I mean, this is just very much a recent phenomenon in the last 2 years or so.
It's taken a long time to penetrate into the mainstream consciousness. Yeah. We've known about it. I was trying to tell my parents about this stuff, and they thought I was nuts. All these kind of issues. Now they admit that I'm right.
Yeah, and when you show them evidence, they're like, no. And now we literally see it here, and finally, thank God.